Republicans showing their true, real life low character. While in Jamaica, one of the most wanted men has been cut down. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. In his annual State of the Union address, U.S. President Joe Biden urged Republicans to complete the job of supporting hardworking Americans. The Democrat addressed a divided Congress where the lower chamber now has a Republican majority and emphasized the value of reaching a compromise. However, a string of interruptions and jeers demonstrated how difficult it will be to find cooperation. And over the president's shoulder at Rustom in the House of Representatives was one of his most vocal critics, the Republican Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Mr. Biden extended an olive branch to the opposition party, which took over the lower chamber last month with votes to investigate the president's family and the cabinet. And he tried his best to accommodate them, but you could hear them in the background jeering him. And this is merely portraying a cast of stupid, affluent, low-life characters. Over in Jamaica, Fitz Bailey, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, is rebutting those who have complained that the police are not making enough arrests in relation to the importation of illegal firearms into the island. At the Montego Bay Freeport Wharf, more than 80 illegal firearms were recently recovered over the course of 7 days. And according to DCP Bailey, the police believe that the two shipments are connected, even though no one has been arrested as a result of their seizures as of Tuesday. And over the weekend, former United Nations Security Council representative for Jamaica Curtis Ward, he called on the local police to provide more information regarding any arrests they may have or they be making connecting with the significant gun find. Additionally, Ambassador Ward claimed that the U.S. law enforcement was hesitant to provide the Jamaican police with any form of intelligence. But this assertion was dismissed by DCP Bailey, who said that the U.S. and local authorities have collaborated on a number of investigations which have even led to several people being convicted. A 52-year-old shopkeeper was killed in Gregory Park in St. Catherine on Tuesday morning. Diana Griffiths, well known, was reportedly shot while sitting in front of her store in the Gulf neighborhood of St. Catherine South. She was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital where she was later declared dead, after which the police were contacted. The killing is being investigated by the police according to Superintendent Houghton Nicholson, acting director of St. Catherine South Police Division. Up to now, the police have not established a motive for her killing. And in a supposedly gunfight with the police on Monday night in Riverton City, St. Andrew, two people, a man and a teenager, were shot and killed. Their 17-year-old Dravid Davy and a man known only by his alias Chups. According to the police, they recovered 2 illegal firearms and 15 rounds of ammunition. According to reports, a police unit was on foot patrol in Riverton City when they came under heavy gunfire from a group of men. The police is said to have took evasive action and returned fire. Both the man and the teenager were later discovered with gunshot wounds. They were pronounced dead at hospital. And the police believe that this group of men are members of the Blue Window Gang, which operates in Riverton City. Over in St. Elizabeth, Santa Cruz, a driver who was driving 3 elementary school students was fatally shot on Tuesday. And according to early accounts, the man was shot after picking up 3 of his relatives, apparently they were niece and nephews, from Park Mountain Primary School. The name of the driver is Devar Garwood, also known as Bull, a 27-year-old Mason who lives on Institution Drive, also known as Back Road in Santa Cruz. The vehicle in which he and the children were traveling crashed following the shooting. However, the children were not harmed, but they witnessed a brutal murder. Now those children are traumatized. One of Jamaica's most wanted fugitives was shot dead during a police operation yesterday afternoon. Nestor Morrison, also known as Bigger Crime, was shot dead in Longville Park in Clarendon, according to Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey. Morrison lives in 11 miles in Bull Bay in Kingston. The suspect has been on the police most wanted list for more than 2 years, according to Bailey, and had been urged repeatedly to turn himself in. The senior cop stated that Bigger Crime unleashed terror on the residents within the 11 miles Bull Bay district and its vicinity, killing and maiming several people. The St. Andrew Central Police have seized 2 firearms and several rounds of ammunition following a shooting on Bryce Hill Road in Augustown, St. Andrew on Tuesday night. According to the Corporate Communications Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, locals said that they heard explosions at about 9:40 p.m. and called the police. When police arrived, one individual was apparently found lying on the ground with gunshot wounds and a magazine with 13 9mm cartridge discovered right next to his body. The police then decided to search the property, and a Taurus pistol and a Beretta pistol and 3 extra rounds were allegedly discovered on top of a roof. They then took the injured man to hospital. While at the hospital, another man with gunshot wounds showed up and claimed to have been shot there as well. The police then, upon their investigation from citizens, determined that there was a gunfight between both these men, who both was gunshot on one another. Both of them are still in hospital under police guard. A taxi operator was shot and killed Tuesday night in Ocherius in St. Anne. He's 62-year-old Kenrick Mignot of Warwick Mountain, Great Pond in the parish. The police said at about 8:45 p.m., Mr. Mignot was operating his gray Toyota Probox motorcar along Front Street in Great Pond when men posing as passengers boarded his vehicle. They then attempted to rob the taxi operator of his motorcar, but he resisted and was shot in the abdomen. Mr. Mignot was forced from the car and again shot by the men. He was later pronounced dead at hospital. The men then escaped in the stolen vehicle. And you can see that Jamaica, just like Haiti, is a failed state. Onto sports basketball, LeBron James has surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leader in regular season points scored. By making a jump shot, he was able to surpass Kareem Abdul's previous record of 38,388 points, which he had held for almost 39 years. James had trailed by 35 points going into the game, and it took him just 3 quarters to catch up. On April 5th of 1984, Abdul-Jabbar, a lifelong Laker, became the league's all-time greatest scorer. He retired in 1989 with 38,387 points. The 38-year-old James, who finished with 38 points in the Lakers' 133-130 loss, did it in his 20th season, which was the same amount of games that Abdul-Jabbar played to get his amount of points, so 20 NBA seasons. Football. Jamaica under-17 football team defeated their Trinidad and Tobago rivals 1-0 at Stetson in their friendly encounter on Tuesday, just like they did in the game on Saturday. The CONCACAF Under-17 Championship will take place in Guatemala from February 11 to 26, and the two teams are preparing for it. And at the competition, Jamaica will compete in Group C against Costa Rica, Cuba, and Guadeloupe. On to cricket, the game between the West Indies and Zimbabwe ended in a tame draw yesterday. Zimbabwe's lower order batsmen held out in the final session of the last day, including a 36-ball zero from Wellington Masakaza to force a draw in the first cricket test against the West Indies. The hosts finished at 134 for 6 yesterday in 54 overs after being set 272 runs to win. West Indies openers Craig Brathwaite and Tagnerine Shandapal had resumed the day at 21 without loss in the second innings after sharing a stand of 336 in the first innings, and the visitors then went on to declare at 203 for 5 soon after lunch, setting that target for the hosts. And if you missed the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube and type in Jamaican Undiluted News. Listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.